Deputy Public Defender Oscar B. Rowe here. I am often asked about stand your ground laws. California doesn't have a formal stand your ground statute, but recognizes the principle through case law and jury instructions, meaning you generally don't have a duty to retreat from danger in public if you reasonably fear imminent harm and use proportionate force. Put it another way, under California law, there is no duty to retreat as a precondition to asserting self-defense. This means that you can use legally authorized self-defense, even if you fail to take advantage of opportunities to avoid the confrontation. For example, say that you have an enemy named Guillermo, and you happen to be out one night at the club having some beers, and someone comes up to you and says, "I just got a phone call from Guillermo. He just left work, and he's going to be here in 10 minutes, and says he's coming here to kick your butt." Now you have a few options at that point, right? You could leave the club and go somewhere else to avoid the confrontation. Or you could call the police and ask them to come and intervene to make sure that there's no violence. But you don't choose either of those options. You just stay there at the club and wait for Guillermo. He shows up and immediately attacks you. You use reasonable self-defense to defend yourself, and he ends up getting seriously hurt. In some states, you would be barred from asserting self-defense because you would have had a duty to retreat if you could have done so safely. However, under California law, you're allowed to stand your ground and defend yourself. Stand your ground is a legal principle that allows a person to use reasonable force, including deadly force, to protect themselves without the duty to retreat when they reasonably believe such force is necessary to prevent imminent death, bodily harm, or a violent crime. The rationale behind this law is the belief that individuals have the right to defend themselves when faced with the immediate danger of being killed or sustaining a great bodily injury. An imminent danger is a situation that demands immediate action, such as someone pointing a gun at you. Reasonable force is the amount of force a reasonable person in the same situation would believe is necessary to end the threat. If they offer resistance, you can increase the amount of force in proportion to the force used by the aggressor. Unlike some states with explicit stand-your-ground laws embedded within their statutes, California's legal framework is interpreted through case law and statutory provisions related to self-defense. That is today's lesson on stand-your-ground laws.